Hello. How many of you shop till you drop? How many of you shop when you want to get something and you keep shopping? Sometimes you don't really have the money, but what? You shop anyway, right? Consumer. Does the system have us involved in consumerism?
Yes, advertisement.
Is advertisement true?
Great, good.
It's using, it's based on what? Deception. It's not always telling you, most of the time it ain't always true, right? Can I get a witness? So you become what? Deceived by buying a product that don't even work for you. A lot of times. Not always.
Cheap.
Huh?
Sometimes it's cheap.
And sometimes that cheapness we pay for, right? And it can be the other way around too. Right? Right? My point is, it's a little thing to us, right? Until you get that big bill. Right? Or until you don't have no money. Right? Does it mean anything to you as a person that you can go buy something? Yes or no? How many yeses? How many of you, when you don't have the money you can't buy, your pride is hurt? Huh? So tell me, when your pride is hurt and you want it and you know really you can't afford it and you get it, how many have deceived our own self? So tell me, does pride and deception work? Does they go together? Even in our own lives. And it doesn't have any involvement with the church at this point. Consumerism is still a religion because you worship shopping. Yeah. Was your hand up for a question?
Yes, sir. I had a definition.
Okay.
Saying all the same thing, but a modern, it says, first of all, it says it's a noun,
Okay.
and then it says a modern movement for protection of the consumer against useless, inferior, or dangerous products, misleading advertising, unfair pricing.
So that's exactly what we just said, right? Right? Mislead. That's what is that? Deceit? Huh? I can substitute that easily, right? How many of you have bought a product and you know it didn't work for you? Amazon. A lemon. That too, right? Or some clothes. Huh? Any of this, right? We as Americans are consumed by the consume of products, right? If it ain't Amazon, if it ain't, what is all out there? It's a lot of them out there. I know Amazon more than a lot of them, right? Yeah. But now it's been made what? Easy for you to access and get, because we can send it to you. You don't even have to go out your door except to pick it off the porch or whatever, right? Yeah. Available. Huh? Yeah, anything. All of this is available. You can get on, what's the other one Michael liked? QVC or HSN, which one of them he used a lot. And he gets all these products. We call him our African, my god brother, we call him Inspector Gadget because he's always getting something, some kind of gadget, and he's got it all. I said, brother, what you got now? And she asked him, what you got now, Inspector Gadget? He said, I got something. He said, matter of fact, I sent you guys some. It's a consumer thing. And guess what? It's comfort as long as you can do it, right? But some things you get, you have to send back or they don't work for you. My long story short, you see how it's fallen into place where Jesus is talking about religiously worshiping something. Take heed, right? That no man deceive you. That was verse 4, right? Then he tells you, let me back up this a minute. Take heed that no man deceive you. Have you been deceived by salesmen in the advertisement? Right? They took your money. Did they say they were sorry? Were they willing to easily give it back to you?
My blood got through. It was sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
So we are women.
yeah. But the point is, it's not always easy as it was to get it back as you gave it out. Am I right? You have to go through something, right? You have to give up some information even if it's online, right? Correct? That information most of the time is sold to somebody somewhere along the line without your consent. Have you been deceived? Have you wondered why you got a card or letter in the mail say, "We're sorry to inform you that our database has been blah, blah, blah." Y'all seen that one? Email, seen that one? Has been hacked, and your information may have been viable, and some of it is already a hack trying to take you some information anyway, right? So everything's based on deception, trying to get what you really need for help, right? To protect your own self. You have to buy other insurance just to protect your stuff. Am I right? When were the days of old when you didn't have to do that? Well, it's been a long time, man. Everything is a product. We are a product. Consumerism. Number one thing in America is consumerism. One of the number one issues. That's why everybody's in debt. Huh? How many of us got more credit than we do money? All right. Go on. Well, he says, verse 5, "For many shall come in my name." In this particular instance, he says, saying, "I am the Christ." Now, we know this is religion as we know it, right? Church form, right? A building or some worship center, correct? Have we heard many people have done that during our time, or we read about in history? Have we not? And what have they done? Destroyed many, right? This is Revelations, the 6th chapter that Jesus is talking about right here in Matthew, the 24th chapter. He's talking about that white horse going forth to conquer with a bow, no arrow. Listen, who's going to be the arrow? Who's going to get shot through? Us. Huh? We're being used without realizing we're actually being used. Why? Because we think it's for us, but it's actually for them more than it is for us, right? Why? Because if you don't buy it, they don't exist, right? How many things have you bought that you really didn't need, but you thought you needed? How many of us? How many of us did that over and over again? And then you said, "I don't even know why I bought it." Yeah, that can get you real good, right? So the point is, my habit for myself is also become my sin factor for myself too. Huh? Because I know that I don't need to be more, I don't need no help being coveted, right? But my flesh say I need it, right? Hello? How many of us say I needed that? I want that. You don't really need it, but I want it. I just got to have it, right? How many people have sold their houses and stuff because of something they needed, and they gambled, and they got on drugs, they lost their families, lost their lives because of this one factor? Something has drove them to that point. Something they worship. Might be drugs. Drugs you can worship, you know. It's your God. It's what keeps you going. Right? Can it be? Sex? Can it be? Huh? Lies? Can it be? Take heed that no man deceive you. How many of us have bought some pills or some powders or some creams, and they say you rub this on, you take a drink of this, and you'll lose weight and such a, get on this formula, get on this program, and blah, blah, blah. Did it work? Is it working? Get my point? Okay. So now we see that Jesus is talking about this, right? Now listen. We read verse 5, right? In Matthew 24, correct? All right. So we agreed that this is, you can put a note by and say Revelation 6 chapter, what is it, verse 2? Something like that. Is that correct? Anybody there? I want you to stare and compare. And agree, does this go with our reference? Would you agree? Yes? Okay, everybody with me? Okay. So let's just go with it just a little bit here. It may not fall all the way, but it's getting there, close, right? Revelation 6, verse 2. Let's read verse 1 and then 2.
And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, Come and see. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer.
Do you see that? You got that, right? Now we read what? Verse 4 and 5, right? 3, 4, and 5, right? And 5 tells us, actually verse 4 tells us, take heed no man deceive you, but verse 5 says, for many shall come in my name, saying I am the Christ, and shall deceive many. So this white horse, we know it represents what again? Politics and religion. Or reverse it, religion and politics. However you utilize it, religion and politics always go together. How many have ever seen a picture or have seen the news and presidents always and prime ministers always and leaders, high political leaders, are in cahoots with the Pope? How many seen pictures or news clippings of that? Anybody? You should keep up with it. It's a good thing to keep up with. Not only that, but listen, think about what it said in Revelations about the bow. There was no arrow, right? But a bow is still part of what? A weaponry, right? So let me ask you, if I was to transfer that bow for an ink pen, signing on a peace treaty, or signing on a dotted line for going to war, or sign on that dotted line for the National Guard to come into your neighborhood, feds to come into your neighborhood, isn't that an act of war? How many would agree? How many of you would agree with that? Is that an act of war? Would it be? Because now you're saying you're coming to take control of what is supposed to be mine, ours, right? Did we, the people, ask for the feds and the National Guard to come in? Did we? Who did? Who signed for it? The president and some of the mayors and the governors. Nevertheless, it's what? The political system, right? Huh? They didn't care about us, right? In general, right? It was about their buildings and everything else, right? Excuse me. It's one call.